Having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Rush Limbaugh executing assigned host duties flawlessly, zero mistakes. I'm America's real anchorman, and as usual, half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. So yet another Democrat has come forward and proved my prediction true. In fact, James Taranto, one of the best, one of the funniest, one of the most incisive internet websites, Best of the Web today. It's a Wall Street Journal piece. James Taranto runs it. And he's actually running a category in his daily post now called We Blame George W. Bush. If you recall last week when it was announced that one of the now deceased terrorists who killed 12 people at the Paris magazine said that he had become radicalized after he saw pictures of Abu Ghraib, I immediately predicted on this program that you're going to see the American left, the worldwide left, and the Democrat Party all take their cue from this and start saying this whole French thing is traceable right back to George W. Bush. That's all they've got, folks. That's all the Democrat Party has. It's all Bush's fault. Abu Ghraib and the pictures and Club Gitmo, that's the reason we have terrorism. Bush made it happen. Bush is responsible. And here comes another one. It was a Rachel Maddow show on PMSNBC last night. Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, Connecticut, blamed the existence of the Charlie Hebdo terrorists on George W. Bush, citing the fact that one of the terrorists was quoted as saying that the pictures from Abu Ghraib, he was a fun-loving, just clubbing guy. He was running around just enjoying life, having occasional scotch and soda now and then. He saw those pictures of Abu Ghraib and he went to the nearest mosque, had an imam give him the truth, and bammo, becomes a terrorist. As one of my easier predictions to make. I have here, ladies and gentlemen, my formerly nicotine-stained fingers, an abbreviated list of summits at the White House hosted by Obama. Because there's another one coming up in February, a summit on violent extremism. But don't think it has anything to do with terrorism. This was scheduled originally for October, and it got moved for obvious reasons. But it was to focus on the cops and their behavior in Ferguson, Missouri, and, of course, the grand juries and their reluctance to indict cops, which gave legitimate rise to legitimate violence and legitimate extremism. So Obama is going to host a summit on all of this at the White House on February 18th. The plan is to bring together social service providers, including education administrators, mental health professionals, religious leaders, law enforcement agencies, to address violent extremism as part of the broader mandate of community safety and crime prevention. Okay? Well, we've had job summits, and we know what's happened to jobs. Some of the other summits that have been held during this administration, Women for Obama. Get ready. The White House Summit on Working Families. Remember that one? The White House Africa Summit. The Nutrition Summit. White House Summit on Nutrition featuring Michelle Obama. The White House Kitchen Table Summit, which was a summit on working families. We had the African Leader Summit. We had the Nuclear Security Summit, forging consensus on getting rid of nuclear weapons. We've had the Higher Education Summit. We've had employment summits. We've had job summits. We had an early education summit. We had a job and economic growth forum and summit at the White House. And this is just a partial list. And after each summit, what happens is the president announces that we had working groups, study groups, each got sent to a corner, discussed the issues, came up with battle plans, reported back to him, and problem solved. And as far as the photo op nature of this is concerned, for the low information crowd, that's all it takes. Obama did a summit. Government's on the case. Jobs are going to be coming back. In this case, They're going to have a summit on violent extremism. It's going to happen in one day, and by the time the day is over with, we're going to have dealt with it. Until the next violent outbreak occurs, and that means we'll need a new summit.